Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today on our session to help you engage teachers and students with Access World News Research Collection. We are at the top of the hour, so let's get started. My name is Catherine Bergerson, and I'll be joined today by my colleague, Matt Stawicki. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at NewsBank. Just wanted to let you know that this session is being recorded and that we will send a record of today's session to you via email in the next 24 hours. All of our contact information and the information that we share with you today is available in the handout section, and you can download that information anytime. Right now is really, the start of school season is a perfect time to look at how to leverage Access World News Research Collection for your school. And as we know, of course, in today's digital world, digital resources and access to those resources has never been more critical. And with NewsBank, you can trust that you're bringing the most credible, vetted, and comprehensive content to your teachers and students, whether they're utilized in person or in a remote setting. It's our goal in the next 30 to 45 minutes to share with you an overview of this rich collection, what it includes, and what really makes Access World News unique. We'll show you how to pinpoint the information that's most relevant to your area of interest. We'll share ideas on how to build visibility, including our top 5 strategies to engage and connect with teachers and students or your own assignments. We'll have time for questions throughout the presentation, so please feel free to enter them at any time. You'll see there's a little question, depending on the GoToWebinar version that you have, you might see a gray bar that says questions or chat. You can open that up and type them in there, or you may see an icon on the left side of your screen. Just open that up and again, type it in there. We'll do our best to get to all of them. And if we aren't able to get to yours, we do commit to following up with you in the very near future. So if that sounds good to everyone, let's dive right in. Just sharing a brief background on NewsBank. We are a leading news and information provider to research institutions, libraries, schools, and we're proud to share with you that we recently celebrated our 51st anniversary as a company. We aggregate news sources from all around the world, bringing you, your teachers, faculty, and students that credible, vetted, global news sources, many of which are unique to NewsBank, and all are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any device. So what has brought us all here today, of course, is taking a closer look at Access World News Research Collection. So at this point, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Matt Stawicki. He is the Vice President of Sales for K12 schools and community colleges. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Catherine, and thank you so much. Appreciate that. So Access World News is just one of the main resources that NewsBank has to offer out of our core 4 resources. This is what I would consider our flagship product. We will be doing webinars on the other products, the Black Life and Hispanic Life in America, America's Historical Newspapers, and Research Rocket. But for today, we are going to key in on Access World News. I will stop sharing myself so that I don't interrupt anyone. And please, as I go through this, we'll stop for some questions and we'll do our best to answer everything we have. So Access World News, it's made up of over 13,000 sources from around the world, actually over 13,700 at this point, and it has well over 1 billion documents. It covers every single subject area, every grade level. There is literally not a topic you can type in here that I've been able to find yet where we don't have information on that. You've got a keyword search bar right here, very easy to use. Type in any term you wish, hit search, and you will get a large amount of results, unless it's a very, very unique topic. So example, immigration, I've got over 6.5 million results. It's not a matter of do we have the content to support the research that you're doing or the projects and activities. It's a matter of how do I get to the content that I need. That's what this sidebar is for. Automatically, our data sorts by the newest first, and you'll note October 31 here, September 30, okay, September 24. These are from our magazines. We get the content prior to actually even hitting the newsstand. So you get the content as soon as it's ready to go. I can resort my data by best match or by oldest. The database itself generally goes back to 1980 forward. It's updated daily, but you will find some content back into the 1950s, okay? Now, to filter my data, of course, it's going to depend on the project that I have. We have multiple date filters. So example is if my project calls for only data 2010 forward, I can use my slide bar, hit apply, get rid of that older content, and only bring forward 2010 on. That gets rid of almost 2 million results, and you'll note how the slide bar changes, showing the relevance of events, people in the news, and so on. And I see there's a couple of spikes here. So what happened during those years on immigration? I can put in my own ad hoc dates. So I can put in today. I can put in a range of years. I can say the past 6 months. So you can really hone in depending on what your project calls for on any date you need. And then we also give you the years. So example here is if I click more options, it'll show me the results by year from 2010 on. And I can see here's my spike, those spikes I saw. So I could literally click in there, hit apply, get rid of the older content, all that other content, newer and older than 2018 and 19, and get just those 2 years. Now, when I do that, again, you can see how this slide bar changes. And I see a big spike here in June of 2018. I could go just to that month now and see what happened, what was so relevant on immigration during that month, okay? Whenever you enter any filters, you'll note filters are at the top of my screen. And then filters also are with the coinciding filter type. So I can just click the X and remove that filter and get back to the previous setting. The database itself is made up of multiple source types. It's not just newspapers, audio, professional blogs, college and university newspapers, journals and magazines, newsletter, newspaper, newswire, transcript, video, and web-only content. I can hone in by clicking on any one of these, and the More Options tab will open up that box for me and allow me to pick and choose multiples. We got a filter for source name. So if there is a specific title you're looking for, you can click More Options, and that'll open up, and you can see here I've got 11,551 different sources to choose from. Maybe I want to hone in on the USA Today. So I type that in, I can scroll down, and you'll note here I've got the USA Today in multiple versions. I've got it in a full text version. I've got it in an image edition of the newspaper, and I've got it in web-only content. I can hone in just on those, and you'll see now I get just to that data. And here, for example, is an image edition of the USA Today from today, okay? The system itself has over 308 image edition newspapers, both internationally and domestically. There's over 60 international, and they get updated daily. So it's great for students. They love the visual look of the image edition newspapers, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Very, very helpful, and students just love that, okay? So you can go to any source name you wish. Source location. We are pulling data from over 200 countries and territories around the world. So I can filter my data by continent, country, region, state, province, and city. So this will definitely support your global and world studies. And you can literally click on a country, for example, and if I only want content from Argentina, I can click Argentina, hit apply, that gets rid of everything else, and now I've only got content from Argentina, okay? So very, very easy, as you can see, to filter data and get to the different things you want. Lexile level. So I can actually filter down to a specific reading level. So if this is a middle school and I only need 6th grade reading, I could do so. Okay, I can just hone in on the high school levels. And again, the more options tab opens everything up. So if you wanted multiples, you could just click, hit apply, and get just that content. The system itself also has multiple languages. We actually have 19 different languages in the database. Okay, for this result here, that's 16. You'll note the bulk of it is English, but we do have a lot of Spanish, French, German, and so on. So example here is if I click Spanish and hit apply, I'll now get content in Spanish, but I will also get content in English, okay? The reason is we have publishers that provide us content in multiple languages. And a good example of that is right here, El Nuevo Herald. That's actually the Miami Herald, which we get in multiple languages, both Spanish and English, and we get that in full text and in image edition newspapers, okay? I'll clear that out. Now, additionally, if you put a search term up here in Spanish, in French, and German, you will get results in that language, okay? Go back to that search. Okay, and that's all the filters that we have. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to filter your data and get down to exactly what you're looking for. And you can do multiple filters. So example is if I want that 2010, I only want 2020 forward, I can hit apply and I can come down here and I can hit a source type and I can say, you know what, I only want the newspapers. So you can do multiple filters. They will just go on top of each other and continue to narrow your data down. Any questions on the way that keyword searching works? Okay, I'll continue with the second way you can get to data, suggested topics. So what we've done, you'll note here that we've got all the different really subject areas that are studied in schools today. I click on any one of these and that will open up subtopics around that specific topic. So science is the topic and these are the subtopics around science. From here now, I can click on any one of these. So example, if I want to look at earthquakes, I can click on earthquakes and what that will do is that will run a search for me. Now you'll note this search here, it's searching for earthquakes inside the headline, data with 500 words or more, only data from the past 12 months, and I don't want to include cleric or jazz, which are some terms that are tied to earthquakes sometimes, okay? You can modify this search, so it's a great way, number one, to show students how to create a more complex search. Again, you've got the filters down the side, so you can now filter to any specific source type, any title you wish, a specific year, and so on, okay? All of these suggested topics work exactly the same. With these suggested topics as well, we will create these for you. So example would be maybe you're looking for something and you can't find it. If you let us know what that is, we'll actually create that for you. An example of that is this whole personal finance section right here. One of our school districts came to us and told us their economics teacher was doing a project with financial literacy with their students and wanted some help on the searches that they were going to key in on. They provided us the terms, we created the searches for them and helped that teacher get to the data they needed. Now, one of the other things we just recently added about mid-year are research trending issues. So what we do is we're actually keeping an eye on what are all the big searches happening, in this case in schools, but we've got a similar one for community colleges. And these are the big terms we're seeing searched over the last 30 days. Every 30 days we review this, we take out what's not being searched anymore, and we add in the things that we are seeing being searched. So we update this every 30 days. Additionally, we add in some of the monthly items like the 9/11 anniversary, National Hispanic Heritage Month. So you can get searches there. You'll also note here some of the controversial issues that are going on around the world. We see them in the news all the time: book banning, artificial intelligence, and so on. And if any of your students, any of your schools have a debate team, here we've actually provided topics around the 2023 debate topic, economic inequality. So again, another great way to get to content. Let us know what you're looking for, and we will add it. Any questions on what I've gone over thus far?
Matt, we do have some questions. Actually, one, and I'm not sure if you're going to get to this, but about Boolean search terms. Can we use Boolean search terms?
I'm sorry, what was that?
A question about Boolean search terms.
Boolean search terms, yes. So an example with that would be, I'm just going to click here and do a search here. So that would be a good example right here. So here, for example, you can see I'm using the connectors or right here to type chiropractor, chiropractors, and so on. And I'm telling it where I want to search. I then use the second connector and here. In our advanced search, you'll see we have the connectors here, so you can do those Boolean searches and you can tie them to any type of content you're looking for here. So I can search in alt text, the lead paragraph, and so on. So this will support that type of searching.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lisa, for your question. How do users find current events from specific newspapers?
Okay, so current events from specific newspapers. A couple of different ways to do that, okay? And again, I'm just going to click on and this gives you a good feel of the different things. I'm going to click in criminal justice here, and I'm going to click on gun control. So a couple ways we can do that for a specific title. Okay, number one, we've got the source name. So here I can hone in on a specific source name if I wish. So if I wanted, for example, the Philadelphia Inquirer, I just started typing, and you'll see I start to get content based on that title. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now, a second way to do this is if you have a specific title that's important to you, maybe it's your local title, your local newspaper, we create what we call these quick links right here. So example is, here's a quick link for the USA Today, and we can create this for any title you wish. So when I click on that, now anything I search, so if I search inflation, for example, it's only going to search within the USA Today right now. So that's all I'm getting for content. So you can hone in on any one title, either by choosing your title or let us know what you want, and we can create a quick link for you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes, and if people have other questions, please keep typing them in, and we'll pause again in a few moments. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, great. So let me finish up the last couple of things that are heavily used by our customers. So number one, hot topics. Again, this really ties to current events as well. So every month, what we do is we actually update and pull forward what are some of the big key global issues that happened around the world. Okay, this is the September 23 version. So this is really highlighting the big things that occurred in August. You'll note we do have an archive. It goes all the way back to March of 2018. It is organized by subject areas, so current events, business economics, civics, government, and politics, social issues, science, technology, health, sports, arts and literature, people in the news. So I can click on any one of these. Example would be sports. And here I get Biles wins 8th U.S. all-around gymnastic title, right? Women's World Cup, Kari Richardson, Little League World Series. So you can see these are some of the big things that occurred last month, the last 30 days. And what we provide you with is a short summary of what that is, but then we also give you some compelling questions to get you thinking about what that might be. So if I wanted to do more information, for example, around record attendance for women's sporting events, that big volleyball game in Nebraska, we give you that search. So by clicking that search, now I'm going to get more information on that specific event. So here again, I'm providing you a great way to get the current events around different subject areas. And now I can hone in. So if I only want content from a specific location, I can use that filter. If it's a specific title, I can go to that. If it's a reading level, I can go to that. So the filters are always the same. So that's your hot topics, just a great way to get to content. The other item that gets heavily used is daily headlines and lesson plans. When I click on that, you'll note what we do every single day is we pull up 10 headlines from around the world. We've got an algorithm that is looking at the 14,000 plus sources that we have and saying what keeps repeating itself. What are these big things? Okay, so under pressure over border, and so on. So you can see these are the big things that we see in the news, right? But every single day during the school year, we also create a lesson plan around one of these. So if I click on this, red carpet for King Charles III, here is that article. We've got tools across the top for the user, of course. I can increase the text size. I can create the citation, and I can export that citation to Noodle Tools, RefWorks, or EasyBit. There's your MLA 8 citation. I can email it, I can print it, and include the citation. I can download it to Google. I can copy the link. This is a Dora link that always goes to this. And then here is the Google Classroom link, okay? But I also provide a search. So here, if I click this search, it'll get me more information, okay? And this is what a full text, all the full text articles look like. Also a read along. I can evoke that and have it read to me, okay? I realize you may not be able to hear it, but you get the general idea. The cool part about this, though, is we also created a lesson plan. So by clicking that View Lesson Plan, you'll see that what we've done here is we've created a lesson plan around this specific topic. France's Palace of Versailles celebrates its 400th anniversary. Curricular subject area, the link goes back to the original article. General education standards. The lesson plan. 4 sets of questions around this specific topic. In order to finish this, I not only need to read the first article, but I would need to do more research. So again, here's a search to get more information, vetted websites, and then presentation and assessment options. We have customers that might just take one set of questions because it enhances something they just did in the classroom. We've got customers that use the whole thing for substitute teachers, or for teachers that are looking for specific lesson plans around a specific topic. The cool part about this is if you click this View All Lesson Plans, you'll see that we have over 5,360 lesson plans, actually 5,366 tomorrow, 5,367, okay? And I can search these out by keyword. So example, artificial intelligence is a big thing. I can just start typing and you'll see what it does is it hones in on the title of the lesson plan. And now I've got some lesson plans around artificial intelligence. That economics teacher looking for help around financial literacy. I just start typing and I've got financial literacy. You can also hone in based on these different subject areas. So example is here is social studies. I can click social studies. I've got over 4,000 around social studies. So from here, I can start typing in and honing in on what I want, okay? So maybe it's the Civil War, okay, or civil discourse or climate and so on. So just a great way and a great tool available to help you support what's in the database, support your teachers and faculty. Questions on anything that I've shown you thus far at all?
We do have a few more questions, yes, actually, and you may have just answered this question, but I will ask it on behalf of the group, which is a great question. What is one thing that you would want to tell teachers to really knock their socks off and make it a really teachable moment to get them into NewsBank?
To get them to use this system, number one, of course, is headlines and lesson plans. That's the big thing. But truthfully, I think that the biggest thing about this database is that it supports virtually any topic that you want to do research on. With over 1 billion documents in it, there's nothing you can't find in here. And it will get you everything from very, very local content and local perspectives to a state, to a region, to a national, to an international perspective. So it's truly one of the best databases I've ever seen, and I've been doing this for quite some time, having been a teacher back in the 80s as well.
That's a great perspective. Absolutely. I do know those lesson plans are getting more and more used as the teacher shortage continues, and that's a wonderful support. And a question about the specifically, what grade are the lesson plans geared to? Thank you, Amy, for that question.
Okay, so the lesson plans are high school level. However, they are yours to use, and I can just for example, I'm just going to go into this very first one here. They can be changed. And what I have actually done is I've helped customers basically just change the questions around a little bit within the lesson plan itself. So we were able to bring it down to a middle school level, but on the surface, they are all really high school level.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we do have a nice comment that says, I'm especially interested in sharing this resource with our modern language department. Thanks. Well, thank you for that comment.
So on that note, okay, just to give you a quick example, here we go. I'm just going to type in, so Presidente. So again, I had mentioned that about languages. You can type in your language you want, Spanish, French, German, and so on. You'll note I did Presidente, and all my results are now in Spanish, okay? So definitely the modern language classes and so on, this is a very, very strong database for them. And the languages happen to be one of the areas in schools that I know are always looking for help on research databases and so on.
Thank you. And please keep the questions coming in. This one's the last one we have for now, but please continue to send them in. Is there a way to search editorial or opinion or to filter that out?
Yes. So I'll just go back to this immigration here. Okay. So I'm going to click advanced search here. All right. And you'll note with this pull down where it says all text. Okay. I can go to all of these different areas within the database. Okay. Within the full text article. So lead or first. Headline, byline, section, and so on. So example is I can put section there, okay, and I can put editorial here, all right, and now it's going to hone in on those sections for me, okay. So there's different ways to track down your data depending on what you're looking for based on what you put in here, okay. So author byline or just in the headline, okay? So different ways to get your content that way.
Excellent, thank you. Well, in the interest of time, let's move on. And if we weren't able to get to your question, we will follow up with you after the webinar today. So now that we know more about this fantastic resource, thank you again, Matt, we want to get it into the hands of your teachers and students with our top 5 strategies to help build awareness and engage your users with NewsBank resources. And again, all of these are in the handout section. You can download them right now. It will either say handouts, or there'll be a little icon that you can press on the left side of your screen to download that. You can use them right away, or you can customize them for your school, library, district, or even your class. Or feel free to copy and paste and use them as is. So number 1, host a hands-on training. Similar to what we're doing here today, NewsBank offers complimentary training sessions for our customers. Gather up a group, maybe there's new staff, new teachers, or people that would like a refresher. Matt's team will be happy to take the group and show them how to use the resource to best fit your needs. And actually, we did have a question about that came in about how do we set up the quick links, and we will follow up with you after that. That could be something as part of a customized training for your library. So thank you for that question. You could even use this presentation that you'll receive it as a recording. Feel free to use it and share it with others who might find it beneficial. And actually, there was a question about that too, that said, am I allowed to post this recording in our library? Absolutely, yes. We would be happy for you to share this however you'd like. Number 2, building awareness and your online presence. If you do perhaps a featured resource of the month or a did you know section of your website, add Access World News. We have graphics you can use, brief product descriptions. Here we have several examples from customers. You can see how they've incorporated it into their libraries page, Menlo School libraries, all across the country. So feel free to learn from what others are doing or use the graphics and descriptions that we provide for you. Obviously, the more places you can add it, the more likely it is that people will discover it. Number 3, this is a fun favorite with many to get students into the resource. We have ready-to-use scavenger hunts. You can download or share the link and get students right in there searching and really familiarize themselves with the database. And number 4, social media, or I'm sorry, our LMS integrations. We connect and integrate with discovery service and learning management systems like Blackboard and Canvas. We have web pages that have PDFs and video instructions on how you can add articles right into your assignments. And number 5 are our videos. Videos are the #1 way to engage, and we have a large collection of how to use videos, and they're very brief. They're 40 seconds to 2 minutes long to teach you how to use various features from, how to conduct an advanced search, how to use the citation feature, very popular with students. We encourage you to add these to your website near the resource. Perhaps you have a newsletter. You can put a little newsletter nugget in, or how to put it on social media channels or your YouTube channel. Please, we want you, again, to use and share these resources. So those are our top 5 engagement strategies, but I do have one bonus idea that we like to call Learn from Librarians. These 2 videos, and they are also in the download section, we'll include them in our follow-up email to you too, stories about how other educators and librarians are using NewsBank resources to find success. The first here with these students are a debate team, and Elizabeth Alexander is in a small school in Texas. She talks about how their first year debate team finished in the top 10 of a state competition in Texas, in their small school, first year competing. And she talks about how NewsBank resources really helped them be prepared for that debate. Number 2 is the News Literacy Project Educator of the Year. She talks about how she encourages science and environmental studies, high school level courses to use Access World News and how to develop the importance of critical thinking skills. So I encourage you to spend a moment, watch each of these. Again, they're about 2 minutes long if you're looking for new ways to use Access World News. So those are my top 5 engagement ideas, and we have these plus many more. We have a marketing and resource center dedicated to K12 schools, and there you'll find even more. We have bookmarks, tent cards, posters, newsletter options of how to talk about Access World News if you do an internal newsletter to teachers and staff. So I encourage you, and if you're not the marketing person perhaps for your library or your school, I encourage you to share this information with that person. Send this link. And I know as a marketing and content creator myself, if I'm always looking for new ideas, and if someone's giving me things that are ready to use or easily customized, I'm more likely to take a look at it. So please feel free to share these resources. So I'll pause here to see if there are any other questions. I believe that we had answered them about, yep, please post the recording to your library's website. Yep. Okay, well, that's great. So, okay, well, coming up next, we invite you, Matt mentioned that we have more webinars coming up in the very near future about our Core 4 training sessions and series. So please register at your convenience. Please feel free to share these invitation links with others who may find them valuable or are interested. Again, thank you so much for being with us today. Our presentation is just one step in our commitment to working with you. And again, before we go, I want to just make one last plug to download the presentation and the resources. It makes it so much easier rather than hunting and pecking around in our website. We've got them all there for you, and you can easily link to the various pages of interest to you. If you have any trouble, shoot me an email and we'll be happy to get it over to you. We hope you found today's session valuable and that you have actionable ways to reach out to your teachers and students right away. We're very grateful for your questions and your time today. Again, if we weren't able to get to yours, we commit to getting back to you in the very near future. As you log out today, you'll see a brief survey. We would really, really like to know your thoughts about today's session and how we can improve in the future. On behalf of the NewsBank team, thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us. Goodbye.